Excellency Co-Chairs,
I will be announcing you what is the total amount of commitments for the first time announced in this very meeting. I can only tell you that I was so happy when I heard the number from my colleagues. I couldn't sleep. I was so happy, and I'm sure you'll be very happy when I am going to announce this money, thanks to your efforts, thanks to the efforts of all three co-chairs. I want to finish by only telling you one thing, and go to hear the remarks of my distinguished co-chairs. I believe I have the feeling of the international momentum we are creating here, plus the amount of financial resources coming through, plus the next steps we have in mind. Many years from now, in the future, when we look back, we will see that the 14th of May 2024 will be considered or remembered as the turning point to address this issue. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, dear colleagues, I would like to turn distinguished co-chairs, and I would like to start by inviting Her Excellency President Hassan of Tanzania to deliver her remarks. Madam President, please.
Excellency Co-Chairs, President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone, other heads of state and government, Excellencies, representatives of heads of state and government, honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is fitting that we are convened in this UNESCO hall today, both because clean cooking means science, technology, and innovation, and because Tanzania enjoys a historic commitment to environmental conservation while promoting societal well-being. With protected areas encompassing 1/3 of its land, including 7 World Heritage Sites, with clean cooking, Tanzania's story of conservation, harmony, and responsibility continues. Clean cooking is about a just energy transition, and it's also about positively impacting our people, our planet, and our environment. It should therefore be a priority agenda for Africa. I, in this regard, commend the International Energy Agency for declaring 2024 the Year of Clean Cooking and for convening this summit. I also commend Dr. Birol and the co-chairs for their unwavering dedication. And I appreciate everyone here for honoring the invitation to discuss on ensuring clean cooking access for all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is said that currently clean cooking access rates globally range from 60% in Central and Southern Asia to over 80% in Eastern Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. To the contrary, Africa, the continent with the highest population growth rates and with all necessary natural resources, ranks the least in access to clean cooking. Over 900 million Africans rely on unclean cooking solutions, a fact which contributes to environmental degradation, biodiversity loss, and the health hazards. As we see it, clean cooking in Africa has 3 dimensions. Foremost is the lack of access to adequate, affordable, and sustainable solutions. Many households, predominantly in the rural areas, struggle to adopt clean cooking solutions due to high costs, limited availability, and insufficient supply chains. The second dimension is lack of global attention, insufficient funding, and lack of awareness about the economic opportunities with the clean cooking industry that hamper efforts to scale interventions. Moreover, development of the needed solution is limited by insufficient research and innovation. The third factor is absence of smart partnerships to ensure clean cooking access for all. Emphasis must be put on realizing possible, affordable, and tailor-made solutions, and on sustainable responses through development of clean cooking fuels and technologies in Africa. The key role of gas in just energy transition has to be recognized. Excellencies, amidst these challenges, central to Tanzania's own commitment is delivering on our recent launched 10-year Clean Cooking National Strategy, which aims to ensure that 80% of Tanzanians use clean cooking solutions by the year 2034. A national fund will be established to support clean cooking. Prime Minister will provide high-level oversight of implementation of the strategy. Furthermore, given the disproportionate burden faced by women, Tanzania will continue to advocate the African Clean Cooking Support Program not to only address the environmental and health impacts, but also empower women as agents of change within their communities. Ladies and gentlemen, effectively advancing the clean cooking agenda in Africa would help protect the environment by increased use, development, access to clean cooking solutions. Increased access would provide women more opportunities to engage in other productive economic activities, arresting cycles of poverty and inequality. On the other hand, reduced use of biomass fuels would slash exposure rates to toxic fumes and save lives. We are confident that this is achievable. The lessons learned in Brazil, India, and Indonesia serve as prime examples, and in Africa, Ghana stands as an example with lessons to share. Excellencies, I would conclude by saying that this summit underscores our shared commitment to advancing the clean cooking agenda, and central to this are support mechanisms and policy measures that provide a framework towards universal adoption of affordable clean cooking fuels and technologies across the continent. The sustainability of these measures relies on the ecosystem that would mainstream those measures into existing development and environmental financing facilities, and in integrating this in key multilateral platforms. Now, to guarantee a resource for clean cooking, this summit has to call and humble requesting for a generous next replenishment by fund donors, specifically of the African Development Bank Fund, that includes 12 billion for clean cooking, and of IDA 21 cycle of the World Bank, so as to reach a financial target that the International Energy Agency projects require for clean cooking for all by 2030. We thus thank those who have already contributed, and we'll know the number later, but we still welcome more pledges of policy actions, smart partnership, and support in ensuring clean cooking access for all. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Dear colleagues, as Madam President underlined, this issue is a health issue, it's an economic issue, energy issue, environmental issue, but maybe above all, it is a gender issue. And I want to thank Madam President for her leadership in this area. Thank you very much, Madam President. So, dear colleagues, when we had the idea to initiate such a summit and raising the international profile of this issue and also raising a lot of raising a lot of money, we thought whom to start with to ask for the support. It was last year in November in Oslo. It was a cold day, mostly cold in Oslo anyways. And I was going to visit the Prime Minister, and I thought maybe I should try my luck. I can raise the interest of Mr. Prime Minister to be a part of this effort. Dear colleagues, I had a lot of numbers, and before finishing my numbers and explain the situation, and Mr. Prime Minister said, yes, I am interested to be a part of this effort. And he is the first one I have recruited for this summit. I thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Prime Minister of Norway.
Thank you, co-chairs and excellencies, all of you. May I call you champions for a healthier and more sustainable world? It was an easy question, Dr. Birol, and I'd like to salute you. This is really leadership at the top level, cutting through bureaucratic talk and going for action. I think this is an excellent initiative. We need more of them. And it's really combining the big picture, as I see it, as we deal with at summits and at COPs and other major events, to talk about sustainable energy, reaching our climate objectives. Are we on track? And then this very practical approach of how do we prepare our daily meals. We all have to do that. And we have this shocking fact that cooking your daily meal is a dangerous thing for millions and millions of people. So I believe this is a real opportunity, and you mentioned, Dr. Birol, all the different dimensions that come together, and I can subscribe to all of them. I believe that this summit is about one of those problems where we can tell the world community we can fix it. It is possible to deal with it when so many other issues are complex. It's a unique opportunity to prevent millions of premature deaths, to cut emissions, reduce biodiversity loss, and to improve productivity and create economic growth. But as you said, it's a gender issue, and it's really also about making life better for millions of women and children. I came about this theme when I was working with Dr. Brundtland at the World Health Organization some 25 years ago. And we saw from the statistics that indoor air pollution is a prime cause of premature death for women and for children. And the image that has always stuck with me on visits to Africa is this. After a dangerous walk that can last for hours to get the fuel, it's the caring mother with a young child on her back, leaning over the cooking gear that she has available. Both of them inhaling, the mother and the child, polluted air from the fumes of the firewood she has collected, as the mother is working hard to feed her family. So this, colleagues, is a solvable problem. So when Dr. Birol raised it with me, it was an old engagement for me that this is not high-tech, this is really low-tech, available tech, and it's really about getting together finance, logistics, and political will to move forward. We know that these solutions can transform lives. We've seen that it works in other parts of the world, especially in Asia. And so the challenge here today is not to reinvent the wheel, but to make sure that such solutions, the technologies, and the fuels reach African households. And I also salute the President of Tanzania for being such a dignified voice on this. She paid a official state visit to Norway some weeks ago, and we had the opportunity to raise this issue, and I'm very happy to be with you on this, Madam President. And then again, here at UNESCO, never before have so many leaders met to discuss clean cooking. So I believe we have a big undertaking. We can now move forward and make a difference. I also meet Dr. Birol in another capacity, and also the President of the African Development Bank with all his initiatives that are really making a difference, as co-chair of the Global Leadership Council of the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet. I use every opportunity to underline the value of partnerships. We made a great partnership on vaccines 25 years ago, the Gavi Alliance, that has brought vaccines to millions of children, really secured children from dying of under age of 5 diseases. And now we have to take that approach of partnership, which is not about seminars, but about real action, to governments, private companies, development partners, international organizations, philanthropists and civil society, and we can achieve more. Norway will, for its part, continue to be a trusted partner for our friends in Africa. We have supported programs in many African countries on this issue, including Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Mozambique. We have worked and are working with the World Bank, the African Development Bank, private sector, and civil society. And we are now also urging the energy companies that have skills and competence in this to come forward with technical solutions and also finance to support. I'm pleased to announce today that Norway is committed to investing approximately $50 million to support clean cooking. We are ready to continue to champion this cause, especially welcoming the private sector and prime among them the energy companies to take part. So, dear friends, together we can make a difference on this issue. And this rainy day in Paris, it is sun in Oslo and warm, I can tell you, it's an excellent start. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Dear colleagues, can you please join me to thank Mr. Prime Minister for this 50 million euros coming to Africa? I say Oslo, Norway has a cold weather, but they have warm hearts, and it's one of the expression of that. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, for your leadership here. Dear colleagues, there is an institution which is at the heart of all development issues in Africa, and I am very happy now to invite my co-chair, the President of African Development Bank, Mr. Adesina. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, my dear brother, Dr. Birol. Thank you to all your excellencies, the co-chairs. Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, my dear sister, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your Excellency, President Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Your Excellency, for Nasingbe,